These are sample questions that you are supposed to answer. You need to prepare yourself before you go in for your army interview. Those in UK are getting interview dates. So definitely within short days, you are going to get your interview dates and they are going to interview you. So please prepare yourself. So you just have to take your pen, your notepad, and you just have to jot something down, do more research on these questions, find answers to these questions, and if you go and you are lucky and you meet these questions, you will be able to answer them well. Take note, this is based on my own research. This video is for information and education purpose only. I am not a military person and I am not affiliated with the army. So please treat this video as for education and information purpose only. If you are looking for standard CV cover letter for your job application, check the tag product in this video or check the description of this video and get copy from me. So yesterday, someone he sent me a DM that he has been scheduled for an interview and I should kindly help him with the tips and information that he needs before he attend the interview. So in this video, we are going to look at sample questions that you are likely to be asked when you go in for your interview. But before I start, if you are going for the interview, make sure you go there on time. You don't have to delay from the information that the person gave. The interview will take about 1 hour, 30 minutes. So they will give you the time for the interview. So you have to make sure you go there before the time. And if you're in commonwealth country and if they are going to send you a link to attend to whether a WhatsApp call or a Zoom or whatever, make sure you are on time. You have to log in to the meeting or to the interview time about 10 minutes to the interview. Okay. So make sure you get enough data bundles also so that you stay there. All right. So from my research, I've grouped these questions into 9 categories. So let me take you through them. So we have motivation and the background questions, fitness and physical readiness, teamwork and leadership questions, discipline and resilience, commitment and adaptability, knowledge of the army, and then personal and family consideration, training and development, and then the last one is the case study or scenario based question. So I've grouped it into 9 categories, and in each category, you are going to have series of questions under it. So without much ado, let's start with the first one, which is the motivation and background. Please take your pen and paper and write it down and make sure you do more research, you plan on the answers that you are going to be given if you are lucky and you meet these questions. So, under motivation and background, we have why do you want to join the army? Why do you want to join the army? If there's British Army, why do you want to join the British Army? So you should find answers to this question. And the next one, what do you know about the role that you applied for? What do you know about the role that you applied for? Let's say you apply for musical role. So what do you know about that role? If you applied for paratrooper or royal mechanics, what do you know about the role? So you need to also take your time and research on the role that you apply. You need to read about the role. The next question, what do you think make you suitable for the career in the army? What make you suitable for the career in the army? And then the next one can be, can you tell us about your experience or skills that will help you in the army? Your experience and skills that will help you in the army. Okay, so let's move on. The next category is fitness and physical readiness. So under fitness and physical readiness, let's look at some of the questions that they are likely to ask you. So the first one is, how do you maintain your fitness? How do you maintain your fitness? You need to demonstrate, you need to show them how you maintain your fitness. The next one is, are you aware of the physical fitness requirement for joining the army? So you need to answer. Can you give example of activity or sports you participate in to keep fit? So what are some of the activities that you do to keep you fit? You need to also explain to them. How are you preparing for the physical fitness test? How are you preparing for the physical fitness test? That is running, push up, and sit up. How are you preparing for these tests? You need to also make sure you answer them correctly. Let's move on to the third one, which is teamwork and leadership. Teamwork and leadership. So the first question under it can be, can you give an example of when you worked as part of a team to achieve a goal? Okay, so that is it. And the next one, what do you think are the key qualities of a good team player? Okay, the next one, have you ever been in a leadership position? How did you handle it? So, have you been in the leadership position? Yes. How do you handle it? You need to explain how you handle it. Now, let's move on to the next category 4, which is discipline and resilience. Can you give an example of time when you face a difficult challenge? How did you overcome it? So, please I hope you're following it keenly. Just have to jot something, write something down. And how do you handle stressful situation or pressure? How do you handle pressure or stressful situation? And let's move on. The army requires discipline. Can you give an example of a time when you demonstrated self-discipline? You need to also answer this question. Number 5, commitment and adaptability. How do you feel about the potential sacrifice required by army life, such as being away from family for a long period? Okay. Next question can be, how do you think you will cope with the strict structure and routine of army life? The next question can be, what do you expect life in the army to be like? You need to provide answers to these questions. So prepare yourself for it. How do you handle change or unpredictable situation? Now let's move on to category 6, knowledge of the army. Knowledge. So in this, you need to make sure you research. You have to read more about the army. What do you know about the history of the British Army? So you need to read something about it. What is the role of the British Army in the modern conflicts? And let's move on. Can you name some recent operation or mission the British Army has been involved in? So make sure you need to be updated with this information. Then number 7, personal and family consideration. So under that, you can be asked questions like, how do your family and friends feel about you joining the army? So you need to provide answers. Are you prepared for the impacts army life might have on your personal life? You need to answer. Number 8, which is training and development. Under training and development, you can ask a question like, are you aware of the training you will undergo in the basic training? You need to provide answer. What skill or personal qualities do you hope to develop in the army? So these are some of the questions that you are likely to answer. So make sure you go through them, make your own research, and find answers to these questions. The last one, which I term as case study or scenario. This is a general question. This is a practical question that you need to answer. What would you do if you saw a fellow soldier struggling or failing to meet standard during training? What are you going to do? The next one, how would you react if you were given an order that you don't agree with? What are you going to do given an order that you don't agree with? What are you going to do? These are the questions that you need to provide answers to prove that you are ready to join the army. If you want more details about this video, if you want me to host live so that we can all meet and discuss these questions together, Let me know in the comment section. Leave your questions if you have any. See you in the next video. Bye bye.